Hey there, everybody. It's Cassidy. I know. It's Tuesday night, and you were expecting Dr. Callahan. He is on vacation this week. He is out of town and has asked me to step in and do the Facebook Live for his time slot this week, and I am a poor replacement for him for sure, but hopefully you will enjoy tonight's presentation. If you were expecting an update on the online algebra class and the activities that we have going, we are working on them. That's part of the reason I'm out and about today and doing the Facebook Live here on the iPad in my car. So I will have an update on that for you guys this Thursday. So come back on Thursdays with Cassidy for an update on that. That'll be what I'm doing. For tonight, for Dr. Callahan's slot, I wanted to talk to you guys about an issue that comes up a lot in high school math classes when kids are working these problems at home. It can be easy to overlook this, and it's the idea of how to work a problem correctly. A lot of parents and educators are used to the idea that you want to show your work, and they'll say, oh, you need to show your work and outline, the steps that you took to work the problem. But then when it comes to checking your work, we tell you to grade it right answer only. And so skipping over exactly how you got to the right answer can be something that happens. So what do you do when you've got one student that works it this way and another student that works it that way over there, and which way's right? They both have the right answer, or maybe they both have the wrong answer, and you don't really know how to advise them. Well, one of the things that I love to tell my students in the classroom is that there are as many ways to work a math problem as there are students to work them, and that's absolutely true. And we know this intuitively, like, you know that 2 times 3 equals 6, and that you can flop that around and say 3 times 2 equals 6. You can also get to 6 if you divide 12 by 2. You could also get to 6 if you add 4 with 2. Getting to the answer is a process, and there are lots of different ways to get to that process. And especially when you move into high school math, when you're dealing with logical thinking, the way that different students put those puzzle pieces together is going to vary by student. Some of them are going to go, oh, you know what? I think when working this problem, I need to do this part first. And so they'll grab this over here and they'll do that first and then bring it around. I've seen several students will go kind of roundabout. They'll do one step first and then another step and another step. And really they could have gone from here to there directly, but maybe they just didn't think about it that way when they were working the problem originally. And that's totally okay too. Now, as parents, this is probably kind of overwhelming. You're going, well, if there's all these different ways to work a problem correctly, how do I advise them? How do I, when they're grading their homework, how do I tell them whether or not they did it right? And here's the trick. Because there are so many ways to approach a problem and still arrive at the right answer, what you want to check for with your students is whether or not they can tell you how they got to where they are. So have them teach you, have them play the teacher role, and you can even give them the whiteboard marker, have them stand up at the board and work it for you like they're the classroom teacher. That's a very effective learning method, actually. So when they're there, what you want to know is whether the student's process makes sense. Are they not, make sure they're not breaking any kind of major math rules. We can't divide by 0, even if logically that makes sense to you, it's impossible. So watch out for the things that are impossible. And then secondly, you want to make sure that they can tell you about what they're doing. That they can say, oh, okay, here I did this first, I divided, and then I applied this property, and that's how I arrived here. By helping students think through their own process this way, not only are you making it okay for them to approach the problem in a unique way and think beyond, what's the right way to do this, and instead think about how do I do this, that's a learning process. And so you're giving them that space and that freedom and reminding them that, it's okay to approach this problem your way. You don't have to work it the Common Core way. You don't have to work it the non-Common Core way. You don't have to work it the way that the teacher in class worked it. You can come up with your own way to approach this problem. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be too far afield. When you get to working them, you're going to have similarities. It's going to make sense as you go through it. But hopefully this helps encourage you. What you want is for your students to understand what they're doing and to be able to go from point A to point B in a logical fashion, to explain it to you, and that they're not making any huge errors. The textbook is the place where will tell you what the huge errors are. So even if you as a teacher are not a math person, you should be able to use the textbook to catch the huge glaring things. They're like, no, you can't do that. That's like way wrong. And then all of the steps in between, the students can have a lot of creative license there as far as which steps they want to work first. So there you are. There are as many ways to work a math problem as there are students to work them, and I hope that your students find a great amount of encouragement in that. Thank you so much for joining us today for Tuesday with Dr. Callahan and his replacement today of Cassidy. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks again for joining us. We're so glad you're a part of Ask Dr. Callahan and on this journey with us. If you have questions you would like to see answered on this video, please leave us a comment down below. We love to answer the questions that matter most to you. And the way that we know what matters most to you is when you tell us. So please send us an email or send us a comment. Let us know how we can help you prepare your kids for college and for life. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next week, or I'll see you Thursday. There you go. Bye-bye.